Well, hello there, you two, and welcome to Wednesday, the 9th of September. Jeez, I can't believe it's Wednesday already. It seems like yesterday was Monday. It's cool, and the week's going faster than you think. But on Monday night, man, somebody had posted up on the local Facebook page here for the Toledo area. Anyway, the Aurora Borealis was out in full swing, especially looking in the northern sky. Absolutely did not know it and missed it. Usually we hear, oh, look at that. Usually we hear that, it'll be out tonight. So we look and we never see it. And you see a hint of it, but this was full-fledged. It was really nice. Missed it. It was on this last Monday night. But anyway, let's head on down to the Southland. Yo, come on along. 55 and mostly cloudy this morning. And I parked in the exact same spot. James, he's about as anal as me.
Yeah.
He'll do the same thing over and over and over, and get mad when you can't park where you're
normally parked.
Yeah.
Your little OCD.
Yeah. Good for a BMW tech.
Yes, it is.
Which he's been doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Doesn't miss a beat.
He's such a sweet guy.
Torques everything. Always got air running. Questions everything.
An attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just enjoys what he's doing.
Yeah.
Mama?
Yes, I hope.
Let's head on in and bust out oh, it's hump day.
It is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Almost there. All right.
All right.
I reckon we better roll in.
Sounds good.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye now.
Bye.
So this is mostly going to be a Spyder day today. I figured I'd start off. Where'd the K1600? Oh, I know about this thing actually. Yeah. I thought it was a B model though. Yeah, it was something I didn't work on, and I'll explain that later. Anyway, when I was editing my videos last night, literally got done at 3 o'clock this morning. When I don't know how this thing goes once it gets compressed. YouTube does whatever they do to it. But when I was editing this thing, I was hearing more than just the camshaft noises. I can yank the volume way up because I got control of it in the editor, and there's clearly detonation going on here. So you remember I had another GSA that did the same thing, and I did the same thing, fixed it, it went away, and he never did anything about it, and over time it came back. So yeah. If you're not rough on these things, every once in a while, what I said, tier 1 gas, second to none. This guy uses Shell and Chevron. I know Shell's got their own thing. I would recommend Texaco or Chevron. They're kind of one and the same because of the tetraline that's in the fuel, and it cleans these things. I've talked about the lower front exhaust valve on each side, how they'll carbon up. Well, one of the side effects of the carbon building up in it is, when carbon builds up in the head, you're decreasing the size of the combustion chamber. So you're building the compression ratio of it. And top tier fuel is like an absolute must. But there's a side effect that usually happens with fuel that's something's, I don't know, it just doesn't smell good and doesn't look good. And anyway, that can happen. As that happens. Well, one of these things will go dang near 400 miles on a tank of gas, so you got a long time with that gas in there. But anyway, talk to him. We're gonna put some clear gas in it, and I'm gonna dose it with this Yamaha ring free. Now, BMW used to have an additive that did the same thing, but it doesn't exist anymore. So it's a dose of tetraline is what it is. But anyway, it takes, like on one of these, about an ounce per tank of gas. It's an ounce every 5 gallons. I know this thing's are almost 8 or something like that. But I'm gonna get some clear fuel, as everybody likes to call it nowadays, non-ethanol, and I'm gonna dose it with the Yamaha Ring Free and take it for another ride. I reset the adaptive values on it last night, and I wanted to start it up cold this morning, and until last night when I was listening to the video, and I hear detonation. I mean, I clearly hear it. It sounds like engine rattle sound. It's not bad, like a pinging Spyder that somebody uses regular gas in it. Like, why would you do that? Got this expensive, beautiful machine and you put cheap gas in it. Things that just make you scratch your head and go, why? But anyway, he's, as far as I know, he's using super in this thing. But I don't know, whatever happened, he got a dose. But this has been going on for like 3,000 miles. So I think it's just building carbon over time. You just need to clean that out every once in a while. It's really simple. Every engine will do it unless you're a kid and, you're testing out the rev limiter in neutral in a parking lot somewhere, But anyway, Ring Free, it's not expensive, and you got 12 ounces, so you got 12 gas fills. And there's a shock version of this, but I don't think they actually explain the shock treatment procedure in this. What it is a heavy dose of it, but you can only go about 200 miles until you have to change the oil and filter, because it will absolutely decarbonize that thing. In 200 miles, it's gone. It absolutely will take it right out of there. So small doses will work. So some clear gas, some non-ethanol, it has much higher BTUs. So it's going to help this work in cleaning the combustion chamber of this thing. And it's going to go away. I've had a couple of people, one, well, it didn't tell me to my face, but I heard it secondhand. They said I'm full of poop. And so it came back in for a second time, convinced there's something wrong. So I just did it. I sucked most of the fuel out, put some clear gas in it, treated it. He's never come back. So there's something to be said. And remember there was a GS, remember the one guy that was driving, he thought he was going further, but it turned out, you can look at stats. There's a place you can look at that. I'm not going to explain it. I found out that he was taking less than a 2-mile ride twice a day. So the bike was never getting hot enough. You need to take them, that 15 kilometers, 9.3 miles. 15 kilometers seems to be the magic mark, which turns out to be about 9.3 miles. You need to ride them that far, because that can cause buildup as well. And anyway, that's when the Yamaha stuff was still available, and that cleaned it right out of there. The BMW stuff was available. And if it's really bad, you basically have to go in and disarm the fuel pump, and you make a fuel pump out of this special tool that seems really creepy, because you pressurize gas in this steel tube. I mean, everything about that thing just scares me to death. And you run that thing, there can't be any living being within a 25-foot radius. And you set the bike off, and it's going to run for about 20 minutes on the supply of that stuff. I got bottles of it over there. It's not a fuel additive, and there's a big warning on it: do not add the fuel. It is done with using that tool. And man, does it clean them things out. It's immediate, but it takes a lot of labor time. It's cumbersome to do, because that tool becomes the fuel pump. So you essentially got to just take the tank off and hook this tool up, and that becomes a tank for about 20 minutes. But it is clean. I mean, it's really clean. But again, same thing. You immediately have to change the oil. In fact, while it's still hot after you do that test, roll her in, put her on the rack, and pull the drain plugs. Get that stuff out of there now, because it goes past the rings and contaminates the oil. So anyway, so he's going to do this. Sorry about the blue-white balance. I set it for in here like that. That's not what it is. So, oh, just in case that bottle leaks or something, I don't want to eat his thing. So, 2 Spyders. These folks took their Spyders, hauled them down to Mexico. It was enjoying life, vacation, just having a good old time. And him and his wife were out roaming around, and the beautiful paved road they were on turns to dirt. And they convinced themselves they should go a little further. So they do, and they're out exploring, and all of a sudden the skies turned black, and monsoon hit. For like 20 minutes or so, it downpoured. So, you know how nice and dry it is there. Everything turned to mud, and they're stuck. So they couldn't get out, and in fact, she went into the ditch, and there ended up being an accident. If you ever meet them, they can explain it. But anyway, trying to get it out of the ditch. Well, 2 couples on quads come by and see they're telling them, you're never going to get out of here. So the people with the quads, each quad lassoed onto a Spyder and drug them out of there. Well, they're off the ground, and they're just hauling them willy-nilly across there. Well, there's boulders and everything else they're going across, and they're hitting and banging and crashing the whole way out. You can see, I don't know if I can get that to show up. If I can get some light in here. You can see he pressure washed this thing, but you can see it all. That clay mud that's all stuck in everything. And I mean, there's boulders and stuff. The whole bottom of that tub is destroyed. The skid pan, look, the skid pan is literally in pieces. This one is the first one I'm getting to. The tub doesn't have any cracks in it, so just a little bit of body work. But it hit the frames that hold the radiators. And you remember my old demo? They ran into something, a boulder I think he hit, and it bent the frame that holds this frame. And I couldn't get the bolts out. You remember I thought I broke my thumb trying to get it off because you can't get a hold of the nut on the backside. Well, both sides are bent. Well, we're not going to replace a frame for that because it's just a hanger, and you can get them straight. It's just getting them apart to get to the point where you can straighten them. But kind of the same deal. It broke the pins are all cracked that hold the radiator to this. Unfortunately, that's part of the whole fan. And that's how the fan comes. You can't take the fan motor off of that. Well, it got both sides of these things. And then the plastic underneath, you can see it's all bowed and contorted to those plastic panels. I'm going to pop them off so I can get a better look and make sure there's no other damage. But look at that. That thing's supposed to be flat, not bowed like that. It's because that framework for the radiators is bent so far back. But I don't see any other damage. The wheel's going to have to come off and clean the calipers out and clean the inside of those fenders. I think his over there on the other rack is worse. But you can see where the mud's been dragging in there, and it just turns to clay once it dries out. And this one's completely full too inside the fender. See big old chunks all in there. But unfortunate. They are out enjoying themselves and a weather event come about. But it's all fixable. And literally the damage to his looks the same as this. I mean, almost identical to it. I got it on the rack looking underneath. It damaged both of the mounts that hold the radiators. Because see from here, see it even knocked the radiators out of the clips that hold it. And anyway, those aren't bent. But you know, this is the only hanger other than those little teats that go down into the rubber. Well, if those things, I mean, they're already stress cracked. If they break, now the radiator's rattling around and you'll wear a hole. Yeah, you just got to replace them. But other than that, oh yeah, something unique to hers, because hers is the one that went in the ditch. You can see how the belt's riding on the pulley. It got rock and mud and stuff into it. And I rolled it down and it just bang, bang. It almost sounds like it's knocking the swing arm around. And I can't get up there, but the front sprocket is completely packed with mud. But she had a different event in going into the ditch. But the calipers on the back on both of them are clean. She just got some mud. Probably that side was in the mud or something. It's just the mud everywhere. But he did a good job of cleaning it, considering it turned into, bricks once it dries out. But I'm sure they got insurance. They'll file a claim and we'll fix it, and life will go on. Anyway, there's my BMW Spyder day. I told you this was something cool. This is really not cool, but the nice thing is it's very fixable. Look, it banged around so much it knocked the the battery out. It must have bounced around in here and knocked it out of one of its clips. Another thing I noticed, yeah, that should be really tight. And he's got different bolts in there, which seems different, but we'll snug those things up. I'll loosen them up, get some dielectric grease underneath there, and he's got a tender lead going underneath the heavy gauge wire. Big no-no. Any accessory, tender lead, whatever, needs to go on the top. I think one of these are going on the inside too. Yeah. No, they're both on the outside. I mean, it's easier to do because the bolt stays in there easier. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know. You just don't know. But what happens is the quality of the metal and stuff of these little thin, they're just basically chrome plated stuff, and they'll corrode. And all you need to do is disrupt the connection between the heavy gauge wire and the post. And all kinds of crazy things goes nuts on a Spyder. All the CAN bus things on these. Well, they've gotten a lot better. They don't completely freak out like they used to. This, like the BMWs have all these codes, but they'll still run. You can get home with it. I guess the Spyders do too. It's only if it goes into limp mode, your speed is so reduced. But anyway, sorry about the crazy lighting. It's nice out there, and I got all the doors open, and that really freaks everything out. But there we are, BMW and Spyder Tech Dog. Well, hello there, YouTube. Sorry about the scraggly hair. If I wear my hat forward, I just shadows over my face. Anyway, we're definitely home after dark tonight. We stopped at Walmart's, got a battery for this thing and windshield wipers. Got wipers for daughter's car. I guess hers are wiped out too. And just a bunch of trinkety stuff. A little bit of food things, but not a whole bunch.
And a whole bunch of stuff, not so
yeah,
much food.
A bunch of stuff. But it was a good day at work. Got not as much done as I wanted to. Got too many irons in the fire. But anyway, it was a good day. Did you have a good day?
I did.
So I guess on that, other than me yammering the whole time in the shop there, I'm probably tired of that, so I'm gonna let you go on and let Kelly do some talking.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give your thumbs up, and you guys have an amazing Thursday or Friday.
Yep. All right. We'll see you in the morning.
See you then.
All right. Appreciate you watching.
Yes.
Bye-bye now.